Hey guys, Coach Steph again. We are talking about our overhead range of motion today. So that is the range from here to here. So a lot of times, because we are so front focused in our world, we drive, we type, we read, everything's here. We move into this position. So oftentimes a lot of us get stuck here, which limits our range of motion. So this makes it harder to do a lot of the movements in here, but more importantly, to compensate, to get the bar overhead, oftentimes we compensate through our lower back in order to get our arms overhead. So if we can learn how to keep a strong trunk, but increase our range of motion so that way our hands can be over our head and we can stack wrist on top of elbow on top of shoulder, we are not only going to be stronger and have better performance in the gym, but it's also going to improve our lower back and shoulder health. Because with the shoulder, if we're holding a load out here, we're doing a lot of extra work to hold it here versus if we were able to actually stack it structurally one on top of each other. So this range of motion is gonna assess where we are so that way we know how to make improvements. So it's a little different than we've done in the past. We're gonna push our feet out a little bit and be against the wall because I want your tailbone, your mid back, upper back, and head all touching the wall at the same time. I'm only gonna do this with one arm at first, just so you can kind of see my range of motion. So from here, we're gonna do both arms, but for this sake, so I can use this hand, keeping everything on the wall. I'm gonna go as high as I can, and from here, I start feeling like I wanna get my ribs off the wall in order to touch, but I need everything touching the wall. So I can get to about here. So if I were to do double hands, it would look like this. Also note that I'm in a straight line right here. I can go farther if I spread my arms wider, but that's not what we're looking for today. We're trying to keep that right underneath our shoulder position, but mid back, upper back, head, almost thumbs touching, up, overhead as high as you can go. All right, how you're gonna measure this, I have my handy dandy Barbie again to help us understand how this works. So if she's up against the wall, we're using our protractor. It's gonna be like this. We're pretty much judging from 0 to 90 degrees. No one's gonna go farther into the wall than 90 degrees. The point at which we are measuring is the farthest point this way. So if the part of my hand or I'm flexed or whatever is the closest point on that end is what we are going to be judging. So if she gets her arms up to about here, that would be, beep, 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 turn it around. She's very consistent with her hamstring. She's around that 60 degrees. All right, if she gets all the way up and touches her arms to the wall, she's at 90 degrees. All right, so we're going anywhere from 0 to 90 degrees is how you're going to score your overhead range of motion test.